The topic of our today's discussion is bacteria, study of bacterial cells. I am your host, Mangesh More, Assistant Professor, Department of Pharmaceutics, ABCP family. So the content of my presentation: Introduction to bacterial cells, classification of bacterial cells, different morphological types of bacteria, structural component of bacterial cells, biosignificance of various cell components, sporulation and germination cycles, cultivation of bacterial cells, modes of reproduction and genetic exchange in bacteria, techniques of isolation of bacterial cells, techniques used in the identification of bacterial cells. So let us begin now. What are bacteria? Bacteria are simple, free-living, unicellular prokaryotic microorganisms. They are unicellular. What does that mean? They are single-celled organisms. Each cell exists as an individual microorganism. They are prokaryotic. So what is the meaning of the word prokaryotic? The meaning of the word prokaryote is that these are the primitive cell type, ancient cell types, which lack the well-developed nucleus. And these cells contain both DNA and RNA, and they can be found everywhere. So here you can see the two diagrams are present here. The diagram on the right, it is of a typical prokaryotic cell, a bacterial cell. The diagram on the left, it is of a eukaryotic cell, a typical cell containing a nucleus. So here we have the nucleus, which is enclosed by some membrane, nucleolar membrane. We have nucleolus. We have some higher organelles like mitochondria, other membrane bound organelles like endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi apparatus, some other things, some food vacuoles, lysozyme. All these things are present in case of eukaryotic cells. In case of prokaryotic cells, the structures are relatively simple. Here you can see the cells, they have very simple structure. We have the cell wall, interior to cell wall we have the cell membrane, interior to cell membrane we have the cytoplasm. The cytoplasm contains only the double-stranded circular chromosomal DNA, which is called as nuclear DNA, and these structures which are called as ribosomes, where the protein synthesis takes place. That is it. This is the simple structure of a prokaryotic cell. Now here the word pro, it means before. Carry, the meaning of the word carry, which represents kernel, means nucleus. So before nucleus, the meaning of the word prokaryote is before nucleus. So prokaryotes are those microorganisms which don't have a membrane surrounding their DNA. Okay, so here we have this chromosomal DNA. The bacterial DNA is a single double-stranded circular chromosome which is mainly present in the nuclear part of the cell. That is why it is called as a nuclear DNA. But this nuclear DNA is not surrounded by any membrane. Okay, here in case of eukaryotic cells, you can see the nucleolar membrane, or you can see the membrane surrounding the nucleus. The DNA is present in the form of chromosomes. Mostly these are the linear chromosomes, but here we can see this is the circular chromosome of the bacterial cell, which is not surrounded by any membrane. Okay, so here there is a complete absence of nucleus. Sometimes some cells, they also have the external layer which is called as capsule. In some cells the capsules are present. Sometimes the cells have the hair-like projections which are dedicated organ of locomotion. They are called as flagella. If single, it is called as flagellum. So this is about the eukaryotic and prokaryotic cells. Bacteria, they are typical prokaryotic cells. It means that they lack the higher organelles like mitochondria, Golgi apparatus, lysosomes, or the other things like the chloroplast, but they simply contain what 70s ribosomes. The ribosomes of eukaryotic cells, they are 70s as well as 80s ribosomes. So these are some of the structural differences which we see in between the eukaryotic and prokaryotic cells. Bacteria, where they are found? So bacteria are found in many environments. They are almost everywhere. They are found in almost all habitats. They are present in the air which we breathe. So the spore form of the microorganisms, they are present in the air, and mostly bacteria, they are present in the spore forms. So spore forms of the bacterial cells, like uh, the cells which belong to Bacillus genus, the cells which belong to Clostridium genus, the spores of these bacteria, they are present in air. They are present in water. Various coliform bacteria, they are present in the drinking water. Sometimes due to the fecal contamination of water, drinking water, it takes place. The coliform bacteria, they are always present in the water, and that is the reason in the rainy season there is an increase in the epidemics. Okay. The soil, it contains variety of different microorganisms, predominantly the bacterial cells. They are also present in the food items which we consume. The food items like curd, milk, raw milk, or some fermented items, buttermilk, cheese, paneer, and the bacteria are present in that food items. And most importantly, they are present on our body, inside our body, as well as on the body of our pet animals. Okay, so living organisms, they often carry the bacterial cells. So you might be thinking that how we are carrying the bacterial cells. So the bacteria, they are part of our normal intestinal microflora. Bacteria, they are part of our normal skin microflora. They are present in our body. They are mostly found in gastrointestinal tract, sometimes on upper respiratory tract. Sometimes these cells, they are present on the mucosal lining of your mouth, throat, sometimes the genitalia, and even some cells like lactobacilli, they are found in vagina. So the bacteria, they are present on our body. They are mostly commensal, and they are present in symbiotic association with us. In one way, they protect us, the good microflora of our intestine. It protects us from the bad pathogenic microorganisms. And most important of all, the bacteria are the reasons for the human diseases. So diseased organisms or diseased animals, they often carry bacterial cells. 90% of human infections, they are mainly caused by bacterial cells. And the 10%, remaining 10% are maybe because of the viruses or because of some fungi. So bacteria are the major cause of human infections.